go home and the boys won't leave the girls alone. Pull my hair and I'll steal my comb, but that's alright till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is a belle of Belfast City. She is courting 1, 2, 3. Please would you tell me who is she? Hey! Albert Mooney says he loves her, all the boys are fighting for. Knock on the door and they ring my bell, and oh my true love, are you well? Out she comes as white as snow, rings on her fingers and bells on her toes. Out Jenny Murray says she will die if she doesn't get the fella with the roving eye. Hey, tell me ma when I go home, boys won't leave the girls alone. Pull my hair and I'll steal my comb, but that's alright till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the belle of Belfast City. She is courting 1, 2, 3. Please would you tell me who is she? Hey! The wind and the rain and the hail blow high, let the smoke come tumbling from the sky. She's as nice as apple pie, she'll get her own lad by and by. When she gets a lad of her own, she won't tell them out till she goes home. Let them all come as they will, for it's Albert Mooney she loves still. Tell me ma when I go home and the boys won't leave the girls alone. Pull my hair and I'll steal my comb, but that's alright till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is a belle of Belfast City. She is courting 1, 2, 3. Please would you tell me who is she? Hey!
Yeah, that was good.
You know, when I was younger, I kept getting collapsed lungs, and they called it a spontaneous pneumothorax. And so I got out of the hospital and I made up this song, Fresh Out of the Hospital, for the song for spontaneous pneumothorax is the title of the song.
Oh, another one with
What?
that title? Jeez.
I know I was like 19, and then it happened again in like 85, 86, when I was 26. So when I was 26, I wrote it. It was after the second time I got out from these spontaneous pneumothorax collapsed lungs. And I guarantee you it's the only song called Spontaneous Pneumothorax. I had a spontaneous pneumothorax. What it is, guess that means my lung collapse. What it is, I was beeping it, so the first time you say the what it is, there's two what it is. What it is. Second time, what it is. Always in that order. What it is, and then what it is.
Give it a go.
I had a spontaneous pneumothorax. What it is, guess that means my lung collapse. What it is, I was beeping and sputtering like a broken down fax. What it is, cost $1 million, not including tax. What it is. Now they tell me I should never really take up a sax, cause it just might make my lungs collapse. Well, they cut your side open and they stick a tube in. Cut your side open, call the next of kin. Cut your side open, wanna give it again. Cut your side open, wanna do it again. Because I had a spontaneous pneumothorax. What it is, guess that means my lung collapse. What it is. I was beeping and sputtering like a broken down fax. What it is. Cost $1 million, not including tax. What it is. Now they tell me I should never really take up a sax, cause it just might make my lungs collapse. Couldn't take a crap for 5 days. Couldn't take a crap for 6 days. Couldn't take a crap for 7 days. Couldn't take a crap for 8 days. Milk and magnesia made my stomach real queasy. Pepto-Bismol made me feel real dismal. Metamucil started getting me loose. So time I took prunes, I was doing some tunes. Took a load of brand and made me sit on the can for five. Oh, I had a spontaneous pneumothorax. What it is, I guess that means my lung collapse. What it is. I was beeping and sputtering like a broken down fax. What it is. Cost $1 million, not including tax. What it is. Well, they tell me I should never really take up a sax, cause it just might make my lungs collapse. just watching Jeopardy for 5 long days. My doctor come in and this is what he said. He say, Steve. He say, Steve. Watching Jeopardy for 8 days. Steve. He said, no more acid, no more booze, no more chasing after little floozies at the lakeside rodeo. No more pot and no more coke, 'cause I had a spontaneous pneumothorax. What it is, yes, that means small lung collapse. What it is, I was speaking and spelling like I'm broken down facts. I forgot I wrote this. Cost $1 million, not including tax. It's a banger. A banger's a banger. They never really pick up the sax. It just might make my lungs. Yeah, they tell me I should never really take up a sax, 'cause it just might make my lungs. Yeah, they tell me I should never really take up a sax, 'cause it just might make my lungs. Collapse. Dude, I just got out of the hospital. I showed up at Kelly's Club to play the gig, and it was oversold out because everybody thought I was gonna die. Because I was in the hospital for 2 weeks with that Civil War type surgery. Like, fuck, he's not looking good. His lungs collapsed too many times. He had 13 collapsed lungs. We don't know if he's gonna make it. And I show up. Everybody's there to root me on. I go, and I opened the show with that. I go, I just wrote this song. I still had fucking staples just fresh out of there, you know? And I got up and I sang that song, and it was like, fucking could have blown the roof off the place. When we got to the Jeopardy part, you know? It was like, and it became a Rug Burns classic for a while. We used to sing it with her old band mates. Dennis and Steve would show up, and they would do the what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is. So funny, man. What a crazy life. You know, I got banned from staying within 250 feet of the Padres hotel. The Padres had a team meeting and I got banned because I had become good friends with the manager of the team. His name was Bruce Bochy, and Tim Flannery, who was the third base coach. And I got so fucked up, I flew out to see them in Florida, and I was so drunk with Flannery, and then they went to play Milwaukee the next day, so I bought a ticket at the last minute and flew to Milwaukee. And in Milwaukee, I got to be in the sausage races in the 7th inning, and so they have the sausage races, and they made me Polish sausage. And out of 6 Italian sausages, or 5, I think, I took 5th. And
That's pretty good. You gave it your
and
all.
it's on YouTube. And so anyways, we went back to Bruce Bochy's room, and I got so drunk, I threw his mini bar out of the top room of his hotel, which is in the top thing, and destroyed it. And so Bochy comes up to me and goes, he's got this deep voice, and I was there to sing the national anthem. And then we were like, what's that fucking guy doing here? And Bochy comes up to me and goes, Poltz, you owe me $867 for a mini bar. I want you to write a song called the Mini Bar Blues. And then Tim Flannery goes, I got to talk to you. They've had a team meeting. When the Padres on the road, you're banned from staying within 200, I think it was like 250. You got to ask Flannery about it. They had it measured off. I wasn't allowed to stay in any hotels around the area where the Padres were staying.
Because you
I
didn't
got
have legs.
blackballed. And the same thing happened to me in Australia. From this, Milan brought me out, and I destroyed this place I stayed in. And it was like these convenience apartments, and they had like 20 of them, 20 different locations, and they had a thing on their wall with my picture, not allowed. Like, it's so cool. I set the carpet on fire and painted the side of the wall. Dude, and then I didn't even show up for the gigs. Like, I fucking went MIA and was gone doing massive amounts of cocaine.
Yeah.
And I just went MIA. And Milan couldn't find me. I had to give club owners money back from huge deposits they'd spent. And then he was like, we've toured metal bands from Croatia, and this is the hardest act I've ever had to tour, and you're one person. Like, it was that out of control. And I go, well, I just got banned from the Padres, so stay with him with the Padres. Tim Flannery loves to. It cracks him up because he was like his audience. Tim Flannery plays music, and his audience was way more conservative. San Diego, you know, how San Diego has that more conservative. Yeah, and so Tim Flannery's audience was like that, and he was like. He used to sell out the El Cajon Performing Arts Center for Performing Arts, 2,300 people. And it would be like a lot of real Christian. And he would always call me up to do like a couple songs. And I had just written this song called Monkeys Coming Out of Your Ass. Monkeys Coming Out of Your Ass, yeah. And I was singing it to him like a couple days before. He goes, listen, you could come up and play, but do not do that song. Just so you know, I have a very conservative crowd. Please don't do Monkeys Coming Out of Your Ass. And that was like him telling me, you need to do this song. Yeah. Like that was the worst. I would have never even done it had he not mentioned it. And I was like, fuck that. I'll show him. And my mom and dad were there in the audience. And I came out on stage and I was like, my parents are here tonight. Could you stand up? And my mom and dad stand up. It's all these people. And everybody's clapping for them. It's all sweet. And then they sit down and I go, and I am so good at saying shit on stage and making it sound real. And I go, I just want to say how honored I am that my dad is here tonight. For those of you that don't know, I guess I could say it now. Yeah, I can. My dad was in the CIA, and he's out now, but they used to do experiments with LSD on people back in the early 60s, and my dad didn't know just how powerful it was. And he used to give me a little bit of acid in my cereal, my Captain Crunch. And the audience is going like this, and looking at my dad's like, what the fuck? But I'm saying it. Sharon's heard me say shit on stage where I can say it. And I go, and so he gave me acid, and he took me to the zoo. And when I was at the zoo in San Diego, I saw monkeys coming out of people's rear ends. Like, that was my vision. And the audience is going, what? I go, so I'd like to do this song. And Flannery's on the side going. And I start doing this song, and it goes. The song, it goes, let's see, it goes. And he's just like, don't do it. No, went to the zoo just the other day. I had 7 hits of acid, I was on my way. Was watching all the primates from behind the glass. You have monkeys coming out of your ass. Monkeys coming out of your ass. And by now, picture these people horrified. I ate a fudge sickle and a big snow cone. I watched your face melt right into your cellular phone. The next thing I knew, you look like Mama Cass. You have monkeys coming out of your ass. Monkeys coming out of your ass. And then I go like this. Monkeys, funky monkeys, monkeys, funky monkeys. And then I go, come on, you guys. They had a face like Richard Simmons and a body like a chimp. You had a feather in your hat and you were dressed just like a pimp. I couldn't say a word. Monkeys coming out of your ass. Monkeys coming out of your ass. I couldn't say a word cause you were talking so much trash. Monkeys coming out of. And then I go like this. Okay, everybody together. And part of the audience is like, monkeys coming out. I go, come on. Do it for my mom and dad. And that really confused me. They go, monkeys coming out of you. And I go, just the gentleman, please. Monkeys coming. And then I go, your ass. And I go, like you got big old balls. Monkeys coming out. And I go, big old sweaty swinging balls. And I go, just the ladies, please. Monkeys coming out. In cute high lady voices. Like you in the Catholic school. I go, now it's Spanish. And then just dead silence. And then I go, Chongo saliendo tu culo. Chongo saliendo tu culo. smoke is coming out of your head. Dude, I did 2 songs, right? That was my last song. And I walked off stage, and it was like I had COVID. Like, people were just like... And then Tim got so many letters of complaint. You gotta ask him about this. He started directing them to my email. Don't write me. I told him not to do it. And then I got protested at Coors Amphitheater. And I went from being on the cover of San Diego Magazine to Bonehead Move of the Year.
And because of the El Cajon thing, or because of something else?
Something else. So
what was that something else?
So, well, something else I did, which is why I understand when you first met me why you were afraid to even book me, and I get it.
I don't know why I had an instinct that maybe you'd go rogue.
You had an instinct of trouble. So, I was playing at Coors Amphitheater, which is now called something different, and
In
it
Denver?
was a shed show in San Diego.
San Diego.
And they have this big, it's a shed, so it's like 15,000 people at the height of Jewel's popularity. It was Rusted Root, then me, then Jewel. And this family had written me, and they said, our daughter just graduated 9th grade, and it's her birthday, and she got straight A's. Could you do something nice, make mention of that on stage? So I don't run this by anybody. And in my mind, I go, this is a good idea for this girl who is just in 9th grade. And so I go to the liquor store and I buy a 12-pack of Pabst Blue Ribbon. So then I wrap it up in birthday paper, like Star Wars birthday paper. And no, it was Lucky Lager, a 12-pack of Lucky Lager. And I wrap it up in birthday paper. And then I show up, and I'm doing my set in the middle, 15,000 people. Rusted Roots already played. I'm on, and I'm in Jewel's band. So I'm doing double duty. I'm doing a solo set, and I'm in Jewel's band. So I call to the audience. I go, there's a girl named like Teresa or something. And I go, and her parents wrote me and mentioned that she got straight A's, and they was wondering if I would do something nice. So rather than just mention it, I'd like to invite her up on stage. Could we get Teresa up on stage? So she comes walking up on stage in front of 15,000 people. I go, here, I got you this. And so she opens it up. And she holds it above her head in front of 15,000 people. It's a 12-pack of Lucky Lager. And I go, I figured she's too old for a Barbie doll. And I didn't know, I couldn't get her any weed because that would be illegal, but this probably is too, but I figured beer's a good place. And if you're going to call this Coors Amphitheater, name it after a shitty beer, you might as well go full shitty and name it Lucky Lager Amphitheater. So now she takes the 12-pack and goes, thank you, and then goes and sits back, which I think was a good bit. That night, it's the lead news story on San Diego, all 3 channels. The news anchors are there. Singer's joke runs flat, and Mothers Against Drunk Driving were protesting out front, going, Steve Poltz should be banned from everything, and Coors Amphitheater needs to stop selling beer. And then my manager goes, the police want to arrest you. Coors Amphitheater never wants you to play there again. Because you insulted their Coors too. You insulted Coors. He was going to try to get money for something else. So basically, so the girl, years later, I go and I play a show in Portland. 2 years ago, maybe a year ago. I'm with Sharon. And this girl comes up and she goes, hey, remember me? And she's got like a baby with her or something. I don't know. Her kid. And she goes, I go, no. And she goes, I'm the girl you gave the 12-pack of Lucky Lager to. And I go, the only reason I didn't get arrested and charged was because when they called the parents were super fans of my music and said, oh, they were empty bottles. And so she said, do you know what we said? That they were empty. And she goes, we still think that's the greatest thing that ever happened. And every Christmas, when we all get together, we tell that story of the time you got a 12-pack of Lucky Lager. And then it was the lead story. And then in San Diego Magazine, it was like Bonehead Move of the Year. Like, dude, there was a time where I couldn't fucking go anywhere. No, I'm not kidding you. You have no idea.
You earned it.
Yeah.
We're getting
Like,
the
James,
flavor.
you really... Dude. We had the power turned off on us at a club in Flagstaff and got thrown out of the club. Had the power turned off on us in Lawrence, Kansas. Flagstaff, I couldn't finish the show and I was just giggling so hard. They kicked us out on the sidewalk and the fans came out on the sidewalk and we kept playing. We were laughing. So somebody had given us this marijuana banana bread and nothing. It was back in the 90s. Nothing's like regulated. You know how much you were getting. And I just flipped out and all I could do was laugh. Like... So if I ever have like a one-man show, these are going to be stories from it.
Behind the banana bread.
It's crazy. This is for Mickey and for Pete. They got married to this song. They told me tonight they had a classical guitarist learn it and do an instrumental version of it. Was it during COVID?
It was.
Well, I'm going to do it for you now, so this is better.
Wow.
I love everything about you. I love the way you comb your hair. And I love the way you sashay in the room. Your perfume lingers in the air. I love everything about you. Whoa, about you. I love the way you lick your lips, dear. You got fireworks in your hair. And I love the way you bring me water. When I'm thirsty in your bed. I love everything about you. Whoa, about you. You were surely kissed by angels. Look at the freckles on your face. And you got the devil in your eyes. You disappeared without a trace. Well, I love sneaking up behind you. When you're looking in the mirror, the way your eyes lock into mine, dear. Without guilt and without fear. I love everything about you. Whoa, about you. this song becomes really popular, right? So it gets to be in this soundtrack to this film called Notting Hill. And so they have me redo it and say I can do anything I want. So I go, I want Lou Giordano to produce it. And he was this guy that produced all these big Goo Goo Dolls hits. So I go, I want to record it in New York. So they go, we'll fly you out. Because I was on a major label. They had all this money. And they go, what else do you want? And I go, I want the New York Philharmonic to play strings on it. And so they go, all right. And I go, I want Beck's dad to arrange the strings. Because Beck, the singer Beck, his dad is David Campbell. He's a great string arranger. So they get him. And they go, okay, we got you everything you want. And then the last day before I'm about to go up there, I go, but wait, there's one more thing. I want a bagpiper. And you need to fly him in from Scotland. And I want him to play bagpipes on it. So they did. And the bagpiper showed up drunk. And when you hear this version of it at the soundtrack, you hear the bagpipes come in, and it's epic. Pete met Mickey at the pet store. She saw his photo and she was interested. Mickey teaches ESL at Miracosta College. ESL stands for English as a Second Language. Yes, she does. Pete worked in HR for Callaway. HR is an acronym for Human Resources. I don't mean to be condescending. Condescending means when you talk down to someone. But he retired. He waited till he was 70 to take full Social Security. Because if you take it at 67 and wait 3 more years, you can earn 8% on your money. That's more than you can make usually in the stock market. If the rule of sevens means you'll double your money every 10 years, then that means if you earn 7% on your money in 10 years, if you had 100,000, it'd then be 200,000. You double it. You see where I'm going with this? But if you earn 10% on your money in 7 years, it would be doubled. So Pete waited till he was 70 and started taking it. He gets a Social Security check at the top that you can do. He might be 75, but he looks 62. And he met Mickey and they got married to my song. They had a classical guitar as COVID made it wrong. Now we're here getting to hear their song. It's in person. It's in person, they get to hear their song in person. Pete retired from Callaway. Callaway is a golf company, one of the 3 great companies in San Diego. If you think about 3 great companies, Taylor Guitars, Deering Banjos, and Callaway. Callaway is a great golf company, and they just bought Top Golf. If you're not familiar with what Top Golf is, it's a place like a driving range, only it's a brilliant idea. Let me pitch it to you like we're on Shark Tank, and I'll get back to the chorus of this song. At this place called Top Golf, they got couches and all kinds of stuff in a driving range, and they'll bring you chicken wings and Caesar salad and a hot dog and lots of alcohol so you can get fucked up. Now in the golf balls they give you, they have computer chips in them so they know that one's yours, and you shoot at different targets and they can keep your score. It's fucking brilliant. And some dudes came up with it on the back of a napkin one night when they were drunk in a bar, just like how Southwest airline started on the back of a napkin, only this idea is even better. And they're gonna build a Top Golf in San Diego. It'll be the headquarters, it'll be the best one you ever saw. I love everything about you. Whoa, it's true, Mickey. Pete loves everything about you. He's not even forcing you to retire, because you want to keep teaching a little longer. But they don't give you any bit of medical, and now that we've reached the age of 65, well, not me yet, but pretty soon, he told me, I gotta get Medicare, I need to start applying. And get supplemental insurance too. Because we love everything about you. Whoa, about you. Thank God you recorded this, James. Little did he know when I was talking to him, it was all going to be in a song.
You were taking notes. You were listening.
Black screen, but give that extra eye.
I didn't know that was going to happen until now. I didn't. I'm like a parrot. I just remember it, and I spit it out in a form of a song. It's like my one superpower.
Pretty special.
I'm a parrot. Dude, you're getting some good shows to put on archive.org Netflix.
.edu.
Have.edu?
Nah.
Nah.
.edu.
It's an educational channel.
Enjoy the show.
New Jersey Turnpike, hiding on a wet night, neath the refinery glow, out where the cold gray river go. License registration, I ain't got none, but I got a clear conscience about the things that I done. Mr. State Trooper, please don't stop me. Please don't stop me. Please don't stop me. In the wee, wee hours, your mind gets hazy. Radio relay tower, don't bring me to my baby. Radio is jammed up with talk show stations. Just talk, 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 till you lose your patience. Mr. State Trooper, please don't stop me. Please don't stop me. Oh! Now maybe you got a kid, maybe you got a pretty wife. Well, the only thing that I got been bothering me my whole life. Mr. State Trooper, please don't stop me. Please don't stop me. Ah! Ooh. Maybe you got a pretty wife. Well, the only thing that I got's been bothering me my whole life. Radio is jammed up with talk show stations. Just talk, 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 till you lose your patience. Mr. State Trooper, please don't stop me. Please don't stop me. Oh! Woo! 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 How? How? This goes out for my friend Yoni. We're so glad you're on this trip.
Yeah,
You're fucking awesome, dude.
You're so rad and appreciated, Yoni.
Yeah. Early one morning the sun was shining as I was laying in bed, wondering if she changed at all, if her hair was still red. The folks, they said our lives together sure was gonna be rough. I never did like Mama's homemade dress, Papa's banquet wasn't big enough. And I was standing on the side of the road, rain falling on my shoes, headed out to the East Coast. Lord knows I paid some dues getting through, tangled up in blue. She was married when we first met, soon to be divorced. Help her out of a jam, I guess. I might have used a little too much force. So we drove that car as far as we could, abandoning it out west. Split up on the docks that night, both agreeing it was best. She turned around to look at me as I was walking away. I heard her say over my shoulder, we'll meet again someday on the avenue, tangled up in love. She was working in a topless place, and I stopped in for a beer. Just kept looking at the side of her face in the spotlight so clear. And later on, when the crowd thinned out, I was just about to do the same. Standing there on the back of my chair, I said, tell me, don't I know your name? I muttered something underneath my breath. She studied the lines on my face. I must admit I felt a little uneasy when she bent down to tie the laces of my shoes, tangled up in blue. She laid a burner on the stove and offered me a pipe. I thought you'd never say hello, she said, you look like the silent type. Then she opened up a book of poems and handed it to me, written by an Italian poet from the 15th century. And every one of those words rang true, it glowed like burning coal, pouring off of every page like it was written in my soul. From me to you, tangled up in blue. I lived with them on Montague Street in a basement downstairs. There was music in the cafes at night and revolution in the air. Then he started into dealing with slaves, and something inside of him died. He had to sell out the things she owned, and we froze up inside. When it finally the bottom fell out, I became withdrawn. The only thing I knew how to do was to keep on keeping on like a bird that flew, tangled up in love. So now I'm going back again. I got to get to her somehow. All the people we used to know, they're an illusion to me now. Some are mathematicians, some are carpenters' wives. I don't know how they got started, I don't know what they do with their lives. Me, I'm still on the road, I'm headed for another joint. We always did feel the same, we just saw it from a different point of view. Tangled up in blue. Wow. That was a lot of energy to expand upon. Man, we love our guides so much. I'm not kidding you. So much fun today. Do you know that song by John Prine? It goes, well, it got so hot last night, I swear, we couldn't hardly breathe. Heat lightning burnt the sky like alcohol. I sat on my porch without my shoes, watched the cars roll by as the headlights raced to the corner of the kitchen wall. Mama dear, your boy's here, far across the sea, waiting for that sacred coal that burns inside of me. And I feel a storm, all wet and warm, 10 miles away, approaching my Mexican home. My God, I cried. It's so hot inside. You could die in the living room. Take the fan from the window, prop the door back with a broom. Well, the cuckoo clock has died of shock, and the windows feel no pain, and the air is as still as a throttle on a funeral train. Mama dear, your boy's here, far across the sea, waiting for that sacred coal that burns inside of me. And I feel a storm, all wet and warm, 10 miles away, approaching my Mexican home. Well, my father died on the porch outside on an August afternoon. I sipped bourbon with a friend and cried by the light of the moon. So it's hurry, hurry, step right up. It's a matter of life and death. The sun's going down, the moon is just holding its breath. Mama dear, your boy's here, far across the sea, waiting for that sacred chord that burns inside of me. And I feel a storm, all wet and warm night, 10 miles away, approaching my Mexican home.
Wow. I've never heard that song.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
There is this song that somebody wrote, and it was written from the point of view of a soldier after the Civil War in the United States. And there was like an Irish guy that came over and was fighting as well, and they used to hire people from other countries. And so after the North and South, the war ended, the South and North wouldn't accept each other's money, so it was a weird period of assimilation there. And so this guy wrote this song. He's from Ireland, and he meets this girl, and she's from Louisiana, and she's a Creole girl. And he wants to obviously be with her. So he comes up with this great excuse, which is kind of true. But he says, they won't accept my money here, because they wouldn't, because he was in the South. And so he says, so I'd sleep outside, but I'd get eaten by the alligators. It's like the greatest pickup line back in its day, right after the Civil War. So he gets to go to her house. And so, anyways, this song is so old, and it was passed on over the years, and it's called Lakes of the Pontchartrain.
Huh.
We were on the last trip out at one of these places, and there was one of the guides, his name's Woody, and he freaked on this song. And we were talking a lot about it. It like really affected him. It was interesting. It was so cool, because my dad loved this song, and I would sing it to him, you know, before he passed away. So it was kind of interesting, because it's got that ancient feel. Was on one fine March morning, I bid New Orleans adieu, and I hit the road to Jackson Town, my fortune to renew. I cursed all foreign strand money there, no credit could I find. And it left my heart a yearning for the lakes of the Pontchartrain. Well, I stepped on board of a railroad car beneath the morning sun, and I rode the rails till evening, then I laid me down again. All strangers there, no friends to me, till a dark girl towards me came, and I fell in love with a Creole girl from the lakes of the Pontchartrain. Well, I said, my pretty Creole girl, my money here's no good. If it weren't for the alligators, I'd sleep out in the woods. Well, you're welcome here, kind strangers, though our house sits very plain. But we never turn a stranger out from the lakes of the Pontchartrain. as she took me into her mommy's house, and she treated me quite well. Well, the hair upon her shoulders in jet black ringlets fell to try and paint her beauty. I'm sure it would be in vain. So handsome was my Creole girl from the lakes at our Pontchartrain. Well, I asked her if she'd marry me. She said it ne'er could be, for she had got another, and he was far at sea, where she said she would wait for him, and true she would remain till he returned to his Creole girl from the lakes at our Pontchartrain. So it's fare thee well, my bonny old girl, I never seen no more. But I won't forget your kindness and the cottage by the shore, and that each social gathering a flowing glass I'll drain, and I'll drink a health to my Creole girl from the lakes at our Pontchartrain. A banger is a banger. It comes in many forms. Right, James?
Yes, sir.
Is a banger a banger a banger?
As it ever was.
What's that?
As it ever was.
Well, like sometimes you sit down to make up a song and you're like, I'm not sure where this is heading. You know what I mean?
No. Having never made up a song.
Okay, like, I was making up this song, and I was like, okay, I'll make it in the key of C. So I go like this. And I figure it's going to be like a polka. And then I needed a good opening line. But I gotta remember how it goes. Oh yeah. So I think this was a good opening line for a song. The sun is just as yellow as the color of my piss, especially when I haven't been drinking. You got the kind of arms and legs and toes I'd long to kiss, but you leave my stomach feeling like it's sinking. Sinking, I'm sinking. I wanna hold you in my arms, and then we'll go to all the farms within the Fresno County line. I'll never get you off my mind, I'll never get you off my mind. Then you go back to that beat. Then you need a second verse. The sky is blank just like my mind. Reminds me of the preschool time when somebody ripped off most of my crayons. And all I had was white construction paper and a white Crayola. Nobody could visualize my drawings. My drawings. my drawings. I wanna hold you in my arms, and then we'll set off the alarms in all the 7-Elevens across America. America. Oh, oh, oh. I like you, and you like me. Let's stay together, 'cause I feel free. Yeah, they need them, and we need us. All I ask is that you trust in me. Then you need a third verse. So what do you talk about on the third verse? You really are my special clam, like peanut butter and toe jam. I'll spread you on a loaf until your knees melt. It's not just that I'm curious, this lust is really serious. You're like a snack bar at the movies full of treats. Treats. You're full of treats. I wanna hold you in my arms, just like a bowl of Lucky Charms. And when your marshmallows get soggy, I can lick you like a doggy. I can lick you like a doggy. I like you, and you like me. Let's stay together, 'cause I feel free. They need them, and we need us. All I ask is that you trust in me. Banger. A banger. A banger is a banger is a banger. And then sometimes you go into a bar and you hear a banger and you're traveling and it's 1988 and all you have is a Radio Shack tape recorder that's really big. That's like the highest technology I could bring. And it's in my backpack next to my Let's Go Europe book. Thick book, Let's Go Europe. And I was in Ireland and I walked into a bar and this dude sang this song. And I went up and I said, I will give you all my money I have, which isn't a lot, if you'll sing it again into this tape recorder. And he goes, just for a pint of Guinness. So I bought him a pint of Guinness and he sang it again. And I'd ride around on a bicycle around Ireland. I was riding around the Ring of Kerry. I'd have this Radio Shack tape recorder that was this big. I hold up to my ear to memorize the words. Because in this song, you don't have time to take a breath. And it's about a dude who goes into a pub in Ireland and he eats everything on the menu. Like, and then can't pay the bill. So it goes like this. Johnny McEldew and McGee and me and a couple, 2 or 3 went on a spree one day. We had a bob or two, which we know how to blow. Let the beer and whiskey flow. We all felt gay. We visited McCann's, McLeman's, Humpty Dance. We then went into Swan's, our stomachs for to pack. We ordered up a feed, which indeed we didn't need, and we finished it with speed, but we still felt slack. Then Johnny McEldew turned as blue as a dew and a plate of Irish stew he soon put out of sight. He shouted out encore with the roar for some more. Said he never felt before such a keen appetite. He ordered eggs and ham, bread and jam, went to cram. Let him we couldn't ram, though we tried our level best. For everything we brought, cold or hot, mattered not. It went down him like a shot, but he still stood the test. He swallowed tripe and lard by the yard. We got scared. We thought he would go hard when the waiter brought the bill. We begged him to give more, but he swore he could lord twice as much again and more. Before he had his fill, he nearly supped a trough full of broth, says McGrath. But devour the tablecloth if you don't haul him in. When the waiter brought the charge, McEldew felt so large. Began to curse and barge, and his blood went on fire. Began to curse and swear, tear his hair in despair. Finished the affair, called the shopman a liar. Shopman, he was stout, and no doubt he'd a pout. McEldew, he kicked about like an old football. Stripped him of his clothes, broke his nose, I suppose. They killed him with a few blows in no time at all. McEldew began to howl and to scowl and to growl. He drew an empty bowl at the shopkeeper's head. Struggle Mickey Flynn peeled the skin off his chin, and the ruction did begin. We all fought and bled. Coppers did arrive, man alive for a 5, and at us they made a drive for assault to march away. Paid for all the mate that we ate, stood a trait, and went home to reminisce on the spree that day.
Certified.
Certified banger?
Certified. That was certified banger. Part wook. It's got a little bit of wook in it because he's not paying for any of the food, right?
Yeah.
James is my wook expert. His brother is 75% wook. James is 30%.
35.
35?
We're finding out 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah, James might be 40%
It's
wook.
pretty close.
It's pretty close.
50, dude.
Yeah. I love it. Man, that song has so many words. You don't really have time to take a breath in it. You know? Man, this fire is really fire.
It's nice. It's really nice. Is it too hot? I need to scoot away.
It's pretty nice,
Yeah, it's visually.
isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Ashley's on the wall with a lighter. Woo! This is her jam. I wrote this a long time ago. I better be careful what I ask for, 'cause I've been asking for an awful lot. And baby, I better be careful what I look for. I've been looking for an awful lot. And baby, I wanna trim your leaves, and baby, I wanna prune your bush, and baby, I wanna marry you, and baby, I wanna carry you. And so I drive all around this city, trying to find something, but there's nothing on the radio. And so I reach deep inside your garden, wake up and I scream, man, it must have been a dream. But there's no one there to hear me. I better be careful what I ask for. I've been asking for an awful lot, and baby, I better be careful what I look for. I've been looking for an awful lot, and baby, I wanna trim your leaves, and baby, I wanna prune your bush, and baby, I wanna marry you, and baby, I wanna carry you. Upside down on a flat horizon, belly to the sky, got tears in my eyes, with a voice like an angel, sweet as maple syrup. You could ride me like a horse, put your foot inside my stirrup. I'll be there to help you up, and we can drive all along the highway, mooning all the truckers till we end up on a dirt road, naked to the gods in the middle of the forest. There'll be no one there to bug us, man, and no one there to bore us. Build us a house, I'll make it out of toothpicks, plastic, wood, and anything that I can touch. A white picket fence, 2-car garage, 5-band radio, and toothpick dogs, 'cause you know that I'm allergic. Got you, better be careful what I ask for. I've been asking for an awful lot, and baby, better be careful what I look for. I've been looking for an awful lot. Man, thank you for requesting that. Carissa knew every word too. She grew up on that song since she was 12 years old. I had like this weird experience talking to her tonight where I was like, holy shit. All of a sudden, you were 12 again. And I just met you guys and I was like, you're the same person. And now how old are you?
39.
39. And I was talking to you and Stuart was 9. And your dad was there. He's like, come see this band, the Rugbirds. We're like, who are these redheaded little kids at our show? And I was talking to you, and tonight I'm talking to you, and you're 39. It's just fucking crazy. It's so cool. Like, I remember meeting you guys, Stuart.
Yeah, same.
It does not feel like that long ago.
So awesome.
Stuart. I love you.
I love you too, Steve.
You've really turned out to be a really cool person.
I appreciate that.
No, you have.
Thank you.
Like both of you guys, your dad and mom did a great job.
Yeah,
Like,
very
you're
lucky.
not dickheads. You're totally so cool. And I love it that you live in LA.
Yeah,
I'm playing in LA coming up soon.
We'll be there.
Where am I playing? Venice West. I'm excited. But it's great because I love Los Angeles so much. God, I love that city.
It's fun.
I know. I love going back to Pasadena because that was where I kind of was a little kid, was in Pasadena. And I love Pasadena, but then I love Silver Lake and I love Echo Park. And I love, what's that other area above that?
It's Eagle Rock or Los Feliz.
Eagle Rock and Los Feliz. There's so many neat little things, you know?
Yeah.
And the side streets with houses. You know how LA has those houses up in the canyons? And then, of course, Laurel Canyon. And there's just so many different cool things in the history.
So much history.
And Dodger Stadium is such a beautiful ballpark, the way it's aged.
Yeah,
It's
seriously.
amazing. It's one of the last old ones out there,
Yeah.
besides
second to-
Fenway and Wrigley.
Exactly.
And you know what's weird? I never knew how cool it looked till now. Like, it's aged well, if that makes sense. Its architectural style looks really neat.
I would agree.
Chavez Ravine.
All that history, like you said.
Yeah. Do you go to Dodger games? Or do you care about...
I'm not super big into baseball.
Oh, okay. That's right, you're a kayak champion. I mean a paddleboard champion.
Thanks, Steve.
Dude, that's your new thing.
It was fun.
You know what was cool? You just kept taking a beating and just got back up, and we were looking at you, and Scotty was our dude, and he would turn around so we could watch you, and then towards the end he was like, look at him. He's staying up. Like you went from falling every time to then making it.
Yeah. It was a good feeling.
Like you did not quit. It was ballsy that you got back on it.
It was
And you were
fun.
going down some tough stuff.
It was a blast, that's for sure.
You're strong.
Thanks.
Getting back up
Dang.
so fast. Like lickety split.
I only had 1 minute left on my calling card. I was halfway around the world and it was raining really hard. And I only had a couple of aspirin and a half a can of beer. So I swallowed it down for courage, but it was still pretty hard to hear. I only had 3 words that I wanted to tell you, but it would be easier if you were here and I could smell you. Words are falling out, I know. They drift, they pass, they melt like snow. I know I may be a flake, I scrape my knees and make mistakes. I may lose, but mostly win. Sometimes I get soaked in sin, but I'll fall right back into your arms again. So I ordered 4 cans of Tuies, and I set them on a trunk. Had a long conversation with a hopeless drunk. 'Cause I only had 5 tickets and 6 new friends. So one of them had a hissy fit and drove off in her Mercedes Benz. Words are falling, I don't know. They drift, they pass, they melt like snow. I know I may be a flake. I scrape my knees and make mistakes. I may lose, but mostly win. Sometimes I get drenched in sin, but I'll fall right back into your arms again. So we played 7-card stud, and I had a royal flush, and I took out your picture, and I started to blush, 'cause I only had 8 lives. Most cats got 9, so I skipped out on bungee jumping just this time. 'Cause I only had 10 chances to say I love you. Words are falling, I don't know. They drift, they pass, they melt like snow. I know I may be a flake. I scrape my knees and make mistakes. I may lose, but mostly win. Sometimes I get soaked in sin, but I'll fall right back into your arms again. I'll collapse into your loving arms again. Hey, I'll fall right back into your arms again. I wrote that in Australia. And then right after that, I learned this song by an Australian. They got married early, never had no money. Then when he got laid off, they really hit the skids. He started up his drinking, then they started fighting. He took it pretty badly. She took both the kids. He was riding through the rain, through the pouring rain, on Olympics to her door. She said, I'm not standing by to watch you slowly die. So watch me walking out your door, out the door, out your door. She said, shove it, Jack, I'm walking out your fucking door. She went to the buttery. All right. She went to her brother's. Got a little firework. He went to the buttery. Stayed about a year. Then he wrote a letter. He said, I want to see you. She thought he sounded better. She sent him up a fare. He was riding through the cane in the pouring rain on Olympic to her door, to her door, to her door, to her door. Shaking in his seat, riding through the street in a silver top. To her, shaking in his seat, riding through the streets in a silver top. To her door, to her door, to her door. To her door. Oh my God, that's like the national anthem of Australia. I did that for you, Joe.
I love Paul Kelly.
God bless Paul Kelly. So I
Did you
learned that
actually make
song and I was like covering it in Australia. And I kept saying on stage, if anybody here knows Paul Kelly, tell him I want to have brekkie with him.
Yeah,
And so I kept sending the message out. Sure enough, my
Paul showed
last
up.
day of tour, I get this message. And it's from Paul Kelly's manager. He's like, yeah, Paul hears you've been singing this song, blah, blah. He says he'll meet you for brekkie in Melbourne, over in, where he lives over in St. Kilda. And so we go to St. Kilda. He goes, be at this restaurant. So I show up at this restaurant. I figure I'll get there 20 minutes early. He's even there 25 minutes early. It beats me. And then we have a great breakfast and everything. And then when the bill comes, I go to grab it. I'm like, I'm going to buy Paul Kelly breakfast. And he grabs my wrist and he goes, he's got this great face and this cool looking nose. And he grabs my wrist and he goes, it's my town. It's my shout. And I was like, all right. And then I told him I was going to go to a footy game to see some AFL. And I was going to be in Adelaide. And that's where he's originally from. I was going to see the Crows. And he goes, when they kick it through the goalpost, the referees go like this. And they put their arms up like this. And that means it goes through the goal.
Yeah.
He goes, right after they kick it through the goalpost, everybody screams this. And he goes, and do it. Scream, how big is your cock? And then the ump goes. It's like this Aussie thing. How big is your cock? And we did it. And then all these old guys. Paul Kelly was, and he goes, and then Paul Kelly says, then you're supposed to go, bullshit. How big is your cock? And then, bullshit. Oh my God, I love Australia. That's another country that just totally took me in, man.
Steve,
Yeah.
Canada done right.
Yeah, that's what we say about Australia. Canada done right.
Do you know any
Canada without the apologies.
Do you know any other Paul Kelly songs?
No, but I want to learn more.
There's some good ones. I don't know. This is when I was a kid, so I don't know about now.
I want to learn the one that goes, I'm riding along, looking over the bridge to the MCG. And way up high, the clock on the tower says 11 degrees. I remember, I go leaps and bounds. I go leaps and bounds. Remember Sharon? Shaza.
No,
Oh my God! I was in It's country town in South Australia, like 2.5 hours from Adelaide. I'm in the middle of this country town, Peterborough, and I play the show for the town there. Somebody books a show, and there's all these fans of mine in this tiny little Australian town. And the guy who put on the show goes, "Mate, come over to my house tomorrow. We want to cook you brekkie." He goes, "It'll just be us. Let us do that as a gift to you, a going away gift. We'll cook you a great Aussie brekkie." So I go over to his house, and I swear to God, he must have told the whole town.
Perfect.
And he's got all these tables set up in a long row of tables. And there's like 50 people showed up for the brekkie at his house. And then he's a redhead, just like you're a redhead, Carissa and Stuart. And over there, if you're a redhead, they call you a ranga. A ranga. They go, "She's a ranga. He's a ranga." And it's short for orangutan.
They call
And
you
so
blue.
they call redheads ranga. And so he goes, "I'm a ranga. My sister's a ranga, and me mum's a ranga." And the mum's serving me brekkie. He goes, "Show him the carpet matches the drapes, Mum." Like so fucking crass, and I was laughing so hard the way you just laughed. And then he goes, "My mom had 3 kids. They were all rangas, and they were all C-sections. They were all cesarean sections. So we like to say she's had 3 entry wounds and no exit wounds." It just got better and better, man. I never wanted to leave those guys. Dude, I'm going back in March, and I invite all of you to come to the shows there. I'm playing a festival there called Port Fairy Folk Festival.
In March?
Yeah, in Melbs, late March.
Yep.
And if you guys came there, that would be so epic.
And what I know in Australia, if someone's a redhead, you call them blue.
Blue.
Hmm. At least in Melbourne,
Oh,
Victoria.
wow. Hey, you know, we're
Not
also...
a ranga. I don't know what a ranga.
Can you guys come there? I'm
come.
also playing the
kind of
Blue Mountain Folk Festival in Katoomba.
That would be fun.
Yeah, NSW. And I'm going to play the National Folk Festival in Canberra.
Yeah.
Some Australians call it Canberra. It's the capital. They call it Can't Bear It. I learned a lot, didn't I, Joe?
You sure did. The ranga's a good one.
How long did you live there?
I was born there,
Yeah.
and I left at 17 to come to America and go to college, and then I went back, and then I came back to America when I was 30.
Whoa.
I've been in and out of, I've lived as long in America as I lived in Australia. Now, half and half.
Oh, that's cool.
But I forget some stuff because I've been here a while. So, but Paul Kelly, when I was, I don't know, in my 30s, he was just everything. Just loved him. Yeah.
Man, I love him.
Do you know his first band was called Paul Kelly and the
Colored
Girls?
Girls.
And he had to rectify it because it wasn't very PC.
Yeah.
Then
It was the 80s. It was a different time.
Yeah. And then he was
Were they
Paul
colored
Kelly.
girls? They weren't Aborigines.
I don't even know. Or I
No,
never
it was
saw
the
him.
name of his band was Paul
Oh,
Kelly
they're
and the
all
Colored
men.
Girls.
Yeah, I never saw him live. And then he was Paul Kelly and the Messengers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever see him?
I have not seen him live. No. He was a New South Wales, Sydney bloke.
Yeah.
I mean, I was young when I was in Australia. It wasn't really sort of going to music.
From St. Kilda to King's Cross.
Did you
Yeah.
know the Waves?
Oh, yeah, I know who the Waves are. I have their CD.
Did you know the Mentals? Mental is anything?
Fuck yeah.
And the Go-Betweens?
Do you know the Go-Betweens?
Mental is anything had Reg Mombasa. And he's a guy that's also a famous artist over there.
Ah, the Mentors played. So I went to college in America the year that I Live in a Land Down Under came out. From
Oh,
Men
yeah.
at Work. And
Colin
so
Hay.
that same year,
Men at Work.
I was in Florida, and that's where I went to college. And so we went to see Men at Work, and the Mentors actually were the opener.
In Florida?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
hilarious.
they're just funny, and no one really thought it was funny. I was in Orlando, Florida, and it was kind of like, yeah, no one really thinks this
Nobody
is
got
funny.
it?
No, not at all. Yeah. Their name is Mental as Anything. That's the band's name. Yeah.
That's fun.
I'm gonna sleep pretty good tonight too, y'all.
Yeah,
I'm
Starting to think about heading over to my
no doubt.
bed. We got a whole nother show done.
That was a
good.
long
Thank you,
one.
Steve.
Thank you guys.
That was amazing.
James, that was fun.
Thank you.
James, put this up on archive.org.
Yes, sir.
Black Darina.
Who's that over there?
Yoni.
Yoni, let's
That's
end with a song
Yoni.
together.
Let's do it.
Okay, you got your Mando?
I'll go get it.
Awesome.
Oh, lovely.
Sweet.
The first show I saw you, Steve, you told that Australian story about getting in trouble about not saying twoies or saying...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where was that show?
Christine,
That was Bowling's.
at the
Oh,
house.
yeah.
Bowling's yard.
And that moose came up.
Yeah, elk.
The elk. I mean.
Crazy, crazy. Oh, God. It was an amazing elk. It was like a spirit animal that
Yeah,
appeared.
it was. So
It was sort of
beautiful.
like a little Harry Potter moment.
And was
that-
eating apples.
It was eating apples, but it had like, I kid you not, like 2 foot long, like velvet spikes. It was
Beautiful.
the most amazing creature. And it was just peacefully standing there on the grass in the sunshine, nibbling away at apples. And you were doing sound check. I'm like, Steve,
Hors d'oeuvre hour.
Steve.
Sharon, come here.
It was at sound check, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, on the
Oh
other
my
side,
God,
on the
that
other side
place
of the
we stayed
cabin.
was so cool.
Yeah, the homestead.
Oh.
Fernando.
So we didn't talk about this, but we saw
Oh,
a
yay.
dead elk in the river today.
Come
Did
by me.
anybody else
Am
see
I
the
seeing
dead
that?
elk in the
Yeah,
river,
sure.
or
Yeah.
just
Oh, you
you?
did?
Yeah, I
Dead,
saw
dead,
it.
dead.
Was it a deer or an elk?
It was
It was
an
an
elk.
elk.
What happened?
I don't know.
He
Very
must have
curious.
tripped and fell.
Did you guys get close to it?
No.
Oh, wait, no, I never talked about it. In
I hope
that
somebody
I
drags
think I'm
it
in
out
regular tune.
Let's see. I'll have
of the river so it doesn't pollute the water.
Is that helping?
Well, maybe we should report
Where'd my
it.
tuner
I
go?
don't know what.
Anybody.
I don't know
Yeah,
what.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Hey, James.
Yeah, 'cause
Yes,
it
sir.
can-
Do you have a flashlight?
flashing.
Oh, yeah.
I think I have a bag somewhere that has my phone and stuff in it.